So this is going to be the how to dump a roll-off video. So right now I'm pulling onto the scales at the landfill. I'm going to pull up here at the window and let the scale operator know what size dumpster that I have. Which I have a 30 cubic yard dumpster. And I apologize if the thing's vibrating. I can't really hold it right now while I'm driving. But yeah, so we're waiting right now for our scale ticket. And then once we get our scale ticket, the most important thing to do is make sure you write down the customer name on the scale ticket, so at the end of the day you remember what ticket goes with what job.
That's probably more like it right there. I don't know what happened, but evidently when you put it on the scales, it must have
Saved the last
it must have saved the last weight, because it's double what you had, you know. We got her zeroed out, we're good to go now.
Alright. Thank you, sir. Appreciate it. Alright, so right now I've got a scale ticket here that's got my, I wrote the customer name and address on the ticket, so that way the office knows, and then that way I know at the end of the day what ticket goes to what job. And like I've already said, this road is bumpy and my phone's going to be jumping up and down. But at all landfills, they're going to have a scale house, and then they're going to have what's called a work face. And the work face is the area at the landfill where they are currently taking trash. So, you know, there's a concrete pile right in front of us. There's piles of clean filled dirt in front of us all right now. So depending on what kind of material you have can dictate where you're gonna dump your load at. So, and also, so when I'm talking about the work face moves around the landfill because, you know, they fill the landfill up in a specific order. So usually they'll dump a layer and then put another layer on top and on top, and you're moving constantly back and forth. So we used to keep going down this road ahead of us. We used to dump down there, but now we don't. We go up. They built the road up. So there's another roll-off driver right there. And there's dozer operator standing right up here at the top of this hill. And it's important to make sure that you're traveling at a slow speed. So then what you want to do is you want to pick somewhere to dump. So this is kind of what we're looking at right there. Make sure you're not going to drive over any kind of you know, big pieces of debris and stuff like that. So I found kind of a little bit of a clearing in my mirror there. So I'm just going to go ahead and take that area because, you know, I don't want to drive over a bunch of nails and a bunch of spikes and stuff like that. So I'm going to go ahead and back up. The other thing you really want to be careful of is your feet between each truck. You want to keep, you know, at least 8 feet, probably closer to 10 feet, because your door is 8 feet wide. So there's the bulldozer, one of them. Your door on the dumpster is 8 feet wide, so you know you're looking somewhere in that ballpark of feet to get the door open. So I'm going to go ahead and engage the power takeoff. The reason you want to engage the power takeoff before you get out of the truck is if you have a problem opening the door, you'll be able to operate the hoist to get the door open. And then also, I do have my safety vest built into my shirt. Most places want you to have either a vest on or a vest built into your shirt or some sort of safety equipment. There are some landfills that require you to have a hard hat. So I do have a hard hat, but this landfill doesn't require it. Other landfills do. And then of course I do have a first aid kit in here also if I need that. So also while you're here, this is a good time to go ahead and, you know, just throw out any kind of food and stuff that you are done with. So of course I've got a little bit of lunch in here from yesterday that I'm not eating anymore, so we'll go ahead and get that out. Alright, that's good. Alright, so the first thing you're going to do, get out, is get your gloves on. You're going to need gloves. May even be wise, depending on what kind of material that you're emptying out, you may want to be having a set of safety glasses also. So when you walk out here, you know, check your tires, make sure you don't have a flat, every time you're walking back and forth. Alright, so this is a dumpster handle and a safety chain system. So every dumpster should have a handle lock, and a safety chain. So on this dumpster, the safety chain holds the lock down. So what I'm gonna do, let me get my glove on here. Alright, so what you need to do to get the lock, this is the lock right here. This is the handle lock. So you can't get the handle lock out without the chain being removed. So you remove the chain, disengage your lock, and then that flips up, and then you want to push your handle up, and then as you push your handle up, the door goes up like that. You do not want to lift this handle up unless your chain is unhooked, because if you have a real heavy load, what will happen is if your chain is still latched and you let that door open, it's going to go out about an inch, and then it's going to stop, and then the door will be stuck. You have to get a bulldozer to push it. But so go ahead and get your door open. This one's kind of being difficult. There we go. So now that the door's open, I usually wait a second to make sure none of the trash falls out. So that's what we're looking at right there. Then you want to just go ahead and grab your door. I usually grab it by the chain, because that gives me an extra couple feet away from the dumpster. Sometimes you're hauling concrete and stuff like that. That can be kind of dangerous. So go ahead and get the door open. Be careful where you're stepping. A lot of dangerous stuff. Alright, now you want to take your safety chain, latch it properly, like that. Now the door is not going to come open. On some dumpsters, the chain is like up here, and the higher of an angle that this is at, it could fall out. So if you have a chain like that, you can wrap it around. If the chain's up here, you can go around this and then over, and that will give you a little bit of extra, keep this chain from coming out. And then I also keep a piece of wood in between my fender on this side and on the other side. Let me go ahead and show that to you. So I have a piece of metal angle iron, and I have 2 blocks of wood. That's in case I have a door latch that I can't manage to open. That's something I can do. we're gonna do is we got the PTO already engaged, so we're gonna go ahead and raise up. Make sure there's nobody behind us. Nobody's came up real close next to us. We're gonna go raise up, raise up, raise up, raise up. And then we're gonna go ahead and use that same kind of touch-off logic, where the truck raised up, and we lower it back down so we're not dragging. Disengage the parking brake, engage forward gear, pull up. Once we think all the trash is out, we're gonna stop the truck, re-engage the neutral gear, and then you can do what's called bang the box. So we'll raise it up all the way, or almost all the way. And then what we're gonna do is we're gonna rev the truck up, and then go drop and pick it up again. You can hear the dumpster banging on the front. Dumpster stops. And that just ensures that all the trash is out of the dumpster. So I'm pretty confident. You don't have to get out and look every time. But you know, you do need to look before you leave to make sure everything is out of it. So we're good there. So let me put you back on the dock for a second. I'm just gonna pull off. Try to pull off safely, make sure there's nobody else coming in and out, because there's literally hundreds of trucks come in and out of here every day. And then usually what I do is once I've dumped the load and I'm pulling off, I always just kind of look back and make sure that there's nothing important in the dumpster. A, that's valuable, and then also B, you know, there's not a dead body, and there's, you know, not anything that doesn't need to be in there, any kind of prohibited materials and things like that. Alright, so now that we've got the dumpster back down, we go ahead and shut the power takeoff off. You know, it goes a long way when you come into these landfills. If you're just nice to people, everybody else will help you. If you see another driver that needs help, you might one day be the guy that needs help. So, you know, at this landfill and in other landfills that I've been to, everybody helps everybody out. Everybody makes sure that if somebody needs help with something, you know, they're willing to step in and help. It really makes a difference, because sometimes one guy just can't do it by himself, and it really makes a difference to have a friend that can help you if you need help. So this is kind of our little parking area right here. Every landfill has a parking area where you can just kind of stop, get out, close your door. There's usually a porta potty there. So, alright, so we're going to go ahead and stop the truck now. Alright, we got the parking brake on. I don't have the PTO on, but maybe we'll go ahead and do that real quick. So yeah, the dumpster's empty. So now we're gonna shut the door. And then see right there, the door went ahead and latched. So now all I need to do is pull it down, get underneath of that, pull this down. Now the door's latched. Now the only thing that holds this together, like I said earlier, is the safety chain. So we're gonna grab our safety chain, insert a link, and then that's it. Now we know the door is latched. If you're, my truck has the automatic locking system, but if your truck doesn't, then you may want to use straps on the back end. Another thing you can do is if you can't get your door to close, if it won't line up, you can use your tarper and put the tarp up, and there's a metal bar up at the top there. Right, that metal bar up there. That bar, if you take the tarper up, you can use the tarper to close the door of the dumpster with. If you run into a problem. You have to be careful though, because it's a little dangerous. As far as you can damage the tarper. But if you know how to do it, then you can get that done. But I think that's pretty much it. You know, now we're ready to go to the next job. The dumpster's emptied, and that should take care of it. Thanks.